Welcome to the Western Academy Beijing's new BJ podcast. I'm Colin Zhang. Today we'll be covering technology compatibility for new arrivals to Beijing and China. It's always a challenge when moving between countries and even continents with your technology, especially when you have to worry about what may or may not work, subscribing to basic services, and so on. In this episode of New BJ, I'll get you on a head start so you'll be technologically better prepared for your move to Beijing. Of course, there are many issues to deal with in terms of maintaining and getting electronics in a new country, but we'll be dealing with just some of the major ones, namely cell phone and power compatibility, buying the latest and greatest electronics products, subscribing to internet, mobile, and TV services, getting support for all of these products. Now, regardless of whether you're moving to Beijing for several years or even just dropping in for a week's visit, one thing most of us have got to have is access to our cell phones. Luckily, most of the global standards are supported here. The two main providers in Beijing are both GSM carriers, and although there is a third CDMA carrier, service and coverage is generally below par. Supported GSM bands are 900 and 1800 MHz. We'll get back to how to subscribe later in the show. Another important point to consider before you leave will be if your electrical plugs are compatible with the voltage and socket types in Beijing. China uses a 220 volt 50 Hz type power system, which should be consistent with much of Europe, Asia, and Australasia. If you're coming from nations which use 110 volt power, however, not to worry, many consumer electronics have built-in converters, so you only have to worry about the socket type. However, for those devices without built-in converters, you have to purchase a transformer to plug in your current devices, which go for a few hundred RMB once you arrive in Beijing. Power sockets are also another issue. You'll find that the 3-prong plugs are like those found in Australia, and the 2-prong sockets are like those in the Americas. Adapters can be purchased on the cheap in many local markets upon your arrival in Beijing. So now you know the basics of what may or may not work when you arrive in Beijing. No doubt you want to buy some consumer electronics goods while you're here, whether it's to replace things or to take advantage of the good prices. There are places for that. One of the best things about living in Beijing is the easy access to just about any consumer electronics goods right downtown. No need to deal with shipping or even buyer's remorse. The Zhongguancun area of Haidian district is often called the Chinese Silicon Valley for good reason. It's also home to 5 of the biggest electronics markets in the Beijing area. For best results, just go to zol.com.cn and compare prices for the item you're looking for. Find a couple sellers and note which building they're in, call them to check the stock, and head on down to check out and possibly purchase a new gadget. Enjoy. So let's say you just bought a brand new cell phone. You'll need a SIM card and plan for that. Now we'll move on to subscribing to common technology services, beginning with a mobile plan as discussed earlier. We'll focus on the 2 GSM carriers mentioned before, China Mobile and China Unicom. China Mobile is the largest operator and your best bet is to go with them. There's no need for any subscription services, you can do almost anything prepaid. Picking up a plan is as simple as walking into a phone shop and asking for a SIM package. Find out more about these plans on the English language websites. Extra features such as GPRS data can be activated on the National Service Hotline 10086. China Unicom is similar and should be good if you need 3G data. Another thing you may want to know about is how to get TV programming suitable for your tastes. This is usually done either by your landlord or management company or by purchasing your own satellite service. Either way, you can get common channels such as Discovery, CNN, and HBO. The internet is a rather sticky issue in China, as you may know through the media. You can purchase the most common 512K ADSL services for less than a couple hundred RMB a month from China Unicom, now the only ISP in Beijing. You'll still be subject to the Great Firewall of China though, meaning a range of keywords, server IPs, and even specific domains such as Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.com may be blocked. Finally, another issue many people have is getting support for all of these products and services in Beijing. A point to note now is that it's a great time to practice some self-help. Google is your friend, if it's a software or other minor issue. Otherwise, it's only a quick trip back down to Zhongguancun, where you'll find a plethora of willing and affordable vendors to fix just about any issue there is. So there you have it, solutions to some of the most pressing issues you may have when it comes to technology in your move to Beijing, be it compatibility, purchasing, subscriptions, or support. Hopefully these suggestions will help you be better prepared for your big move. Until later, I'm Colin Zhang for new BJ podcasts at Western Academy Beijing. Enjoy your new home.